30 clubs, 30 camps, kicks off our coverage in Sarasota, Florida, the spring training home of your Baltimore Orioles. Welcome, thrilled to have you with us, Lauren Shehadi, Chris Young. This is a cool camp. There's a cool vibe. It's fun, it's loose, and a new guy at the helm.
New guy at the helm, Craig Albernaz.
Yeah.
Any player that you talk to about this manager, they say he brings the energy. They say, you know, although he hasn't managed before in the big leagues, so much experience through professional ball, former catcher in the minor leagues, I think he's going to bring a lot of that knowledge and understanding of how to get guys going to this team. Exciting things ahead for the Baltimore Orioles.
A few observations so far. There's a slip and slide in this camp, which is vital. Everyone knows it's vital for success. There's a lot of pickup trucks, and there's a lot of new additions. Pete Alonso at the top of that list.
Yeah, when you think about the Orioles over the last couple years, you were always wondering when they were going to go for it. They were leaning on their young players and hoping that all the young players came through. A few guys took a step back this year, but you're banking on those guys coming through in addition to bringing in Pete Alonso, bringing in Ward, solidifying the bullpen, bringing in Helsley and Kittredge, also bringing in Blaze Alexander. You have Jeremiah Jackson here fighting for a spot. Especially with a couple injuries with Westberg and Holiday early in camp, there's going to be a lot of competition for some big spots, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this team rounds out.
You said it perfectly when we were driving to camp. There's going to be more power, and Pete Alonso personifies power. We spoke to him not too long ago before a bunting competition, because when you think of Pete Alonso,
you think bunting,
you think,
right?
You think bunting. We have a few minutes with Pete Alonso before he has a bunting competition, is what you just told us. And let's see why I say, how many bunts you getting?
How many bunts you getting down this year?
I'm in it. Well, in season probably 0, but I'm if we're in a competition, I'm going to try and win it. So.
You're ready to go.
Yes.
2 games, 2 home runs. You're good in an Orioles uniform. Everyone said that you're the voice already in camp. How have you been able to kind of be that voice so quickly, Pete?
We have a really special group, and I feel like for me, like being able to just communicate with the guys is really important. And just for me, like I just want to share my experience when I can. Like experience is valuable, and this group is really talented, and I would just want to help out the best I can.
Everybody that I've talked to so far has talked about your impact, like right away. So we know you're bringing that leadership ability here to the team. You personally, when I look at all the numbers last year, the one that stands out to me the most is the career high 170 hits. And it seemed like from the get-go, you were locked in on showing the entire world, I'm more than just a slugger. I'm a complete hitter. For you to make that adjustment last year, is that something that was intentional or something that just naturally happened?
I think it's a little bit of both. And for me, I think it's not just wanting to be a hitter, it's just wanting to win at bats, just be consistent. If I'm getting a pitch over the middle of the plate, I want to be able to capitalize on it and push it hard between the lines. And not missing those pitches or not being too passive or over-swinging. I just want to be able to get my pitch, and once it shows up, just capitalize. And I want to do that every single time a ball shows up into the heart of the dish.
I was watching a spring training game the other day. First of all, you begged for another at-bat, middle of February, and I loved it. And in between every at-bat, Pete, you would go up to each teammate, up and down the lineup, say, what'd you see from that swing? Is that commonplace for you? How much is it analytics versus relying on their eyes?
It's both. So, I mean, you have the numbers, you have information, but this is something that I feel like I've tried to ask and do like my whole career, because you have the numbers, you have video, but you can't replace what it's like and seeing it in the box. So it's asking questions, and also like there's some guys with like some past experience where it's like, hey, how can, like, what'd you see? And then hopefully it translates when you get in the box.
So you're good at absolutely everything. So I can say this, I say it with peace, I say it with love. Your Baltimore accent, we heard it at the caravan. Pete, you're laughing because it's not good.
Oh, thank you.
You want to redeem yourself? How you doing, hun? Say it.
How you doing, hon?
That's not bad.
It's pretty good.
I mean, hey, I was only up there for a few times, but the more time I spend up there,
There's room for improvement.
Yes.
Nobody cares if you hit 53 and 120. You know what I mean?
No, exactly.
Let's go.
Exactly.
Pete Alonso, Baltimore Oriole.
Yes.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
You plug Pete Alonso into the middle of that lineup, you will like what you get. And they didn't just add power. I feel like the past few seasons Baltimore has gotten to October, you almost feel like they haven't had enough arms. But look at this. Look at the company Trevor Rogers keeps. He was highlight. The first Orioles starter to have an ERA under 1.50 through his first 12 starts to a season. He is back and he's ready to anchor a staff that's hoping for health and success.
And here joined one of the most important pitchers with the Orioles, and for me, honestly, Trevor, one of the most remarkable stories last season. Trevor Rogers here with us, from the trade over to Baltimore, to the struggles, to some injuries, to getting sent down, coming full circle to you having an amazing second half last season. How would you recap your last year and what really went well for you?
Yeah, it was honestly remarkable, really. Just, how the start of the trade went, and, the media aspect of all of it, and, it being a quote-unquote bust. And I knew deep down, I knew what I could do, and I knew this organization was going to help me. And unfortunately, it took a little bit longer at the beginning of it, but, I'm right back to where I knew I could be, so I'm in a really good spot.
So sometimes that's where we get the best out of ourselves. I remember for myself, I came out the gate hot for my career, had some struggles, got sent down for a short period of time, and made some much needed adjustments that helped me carry my career for another decade at the time. So what do you feel like you learned about yourself in that moment of getting sent down and coming back up?
Probably separating the results from the process, really. I think early in my career, and you probably could attest to it, that we want results right out of the gate, being young guys, and want to prove ourselves in the big leagues. And I didn't quite realize how result-oriented I was until I got sent down, and I really had to, reinvent myself and really find myself deep down and be the guy that I knew I could be. So it really helped me kind of separate those two when it comes to playing the game.
And when you're saying reinvent yourself, you look at the arsenal, you see the introduction to the sweeper last year. What I love about you, you're a lefty who is not afraid to use your heater. You'll use your fastball up in the zone, so which makes me uncomfortable as a right-handed hitter. But the sweeper seemed like it really opened some things up for you. How did you realize that was something you need to add, and what did that do to your arsenal to open your game up?
Yeah, that's a good question. I always had the shorter breaking ball, but I kind of needed that depthier, the curveball sweeper kind of pitch.
Right.
So it kind of took me a while to find that shape that I was looking for. And another thing that I realized is I was really good at, adding and subtracting with that pitch. I could throw it 76 to 79 and add it with a fastball, which is mid-90s. So I could play that back and forth game, kind of get weak contact, get hitters out in front, and that's kind of where that pitch is really special. Every time I take the ball, every 5 or 6 days, whatever it is, my team knows what they're going to get from me, whether it's 5 to 7 innings, a 2-run ball, or putting up zeros. I just want to give my team a chance to win and just be consistent out there.
I love to see it. First start already under your belt, looking good, throwing a little bit harder. Looking forward to see what you do the rest of the season. Have a good season. Good luck to you. Thank you for your time.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, appreciate you. Thank you, man.
Trevor Rogers has things covered on the mound, but who will lead the offense? Who will lead the Orioles in home runs in 2026? Is it the guy who hit 38 a year ago? Gunnar Henderson, Taylor Ward, some power brought in from the West Coast? Answer the question, and we will give you our answers after this. Coming up on 30 Clubs, 30 Camps, we're just getting started at Orioles camp. When we come back, a new man at the helm, Craig Albernaz, on chemistry, culture, and slip and slide. What's next? 30 Clubs, 30 Camps is on the southwest coast of Florida. Sarasota is where the Orioles make their spring home. Our manager interviews are presented by Sage. He's the new man at the helm, and he's the boss. That's a good combination. Albie, you walked in this door first day. What was top of mind? First order of business?
First order of business, we just wanted to get the guys in a practice environment where they can have fun, but also be very focused and intentful with their work. So that was the biggest thing for us as a coaching staff, is because you want players, baseball's fun, it gets players more engaged, and so we talk about the little details, it kind of hits home a little better. So that's kind of like the main focus here.
And first game you managed at this team, it was a 2-0 win over the Yankees. You held
Oh, yeah.
You were like, I got this.
Biggest game of the year, absolutely.
Easy.
Yeah,
This
made
is
the right
big.
matchup moves, everything. Yeah, the pinch hits, bringing guys in, it was perfect. Yeah, absolutely.
It's got to be exciting to set the tone early. Every single person that I've talked to about who is Albie, they all say full of energy, well-respected, baseball guy. He knows, we all know that he wants the best for us. When you built that culture in Cleveland, I know you had the time with the Rays as well, When you're coming over to Baltimore and you want to earn that trust with this entire core right out the gate, what is your process of earning that trust amongst the guys early?
The biggest thing is you want to know the players, right? You want to know where they came from. You want to know what their work is the off season. You want to know what makes them tick and what makes them happy. That's the biggest thing. Like, I don't have all the answers. Our coaching staff doesn't have all the answers. The players know their bodies and what they need to work on better than anyone else. So it's our job as coaches. What I wanted to do is, what are your strengths? What makes you great? You know, what makes you, when you jump on the field, that you make you feel like a 12-year-old kid? And once we get to that point, then it's like, let's layer on your areas of growth, what you need to work on, what you need to do to take the next level. Because usually what we see as coaches is the same thing that players see. So we're just getting to the same point, speaking the same language. So when we go out in the field, the last thing we want is them to be depending on us as coaches. We want them to be independent thinkers and just to go out and play the game. So everything we do as far as our conversations, our prep work, our practices, is to make sure our players are fully engaged and that they can own each area in their space they're working on.
The way this team is built from the couple years ago, like huge expectations for so many of these young players. And then last year, everybody collectively taking a slight step back, but you know the potential is still there. You know the skill is still there. And as you navigate your way through communicating with the guys, early on in camp, Jackson Holliday already beat up a little bit. Jordan Westberg beat up a little bit to where I'm sure you've had to have conversations with Kobe Mayo, with Jeremiah Jackson, with Blaze Alexander. So many opportunities are starting to pop up for players. How do you stay transparent with them on the real opportunity with them? And how do you keep Jackson Holliday and Jordan Westberg happy, understanding that they still have a role with this team?
Yeah, to me, that's what you just described right there is why I love coaching and why I love this job, right? And that's what makes it fun is just each player individually where they're at. Like, I'm a big believer in high standards. We're going to have high standards around here, but also high support and how much we're not going to leave you on an island. So what do you need to do, each player, for you to take that next step? And we're here for you. And at the end of the day, we want all of our players to make a tough decision for us of who's going to be on the opening day roster and moving forward.
High standards, high support. I like that.
Yeah.
And you're the originator of the slip and slide, yes or no? Can you take credit?
Take a little bit of credit.
Why'd you let Colton be then?
It's you gotta make him win. You know what I mean? I know where I'm at.
Oh, you let him win?
I know where I'm at in life. You know, I don't want to be out there blowing out a hamstring in front of everyone. I know where I'm at in life. My playing days are long gone. So yeah, Colton beat me fair and square. But that's something where we implemented in Cleveland in 24. So I don't know if Vody did it this year. You know, he's two-time manager of the year. I'm not sure if he likes to have fun anymore. Now he's serious.
I'm sure he'll hear this.
He's trying to three-peat now, so I'm not sure if he wants to have fun with the slip and slide. But yeah, that's something we brought here. I see why there's no way to practice sliding.
No.
You either get ripped up. Those sliding mats are terrible.
Exactly.
We have to put the foot on. Like it's so tough. So might as well have a slip and slide and have fun.
Gotta do it.
Yeah.
Vibes are high in camp. Thank you so much for the time. Good luck to you. We
Thank you for having me.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Coming up on 30 Clubs, 30 Camps, just how far can the Baltimore Orioles go? What's the win total? How far can the Orioles go? What do you think? One word to describe your team this year.
The goal's a World Series, just
World
like any
Series.
team.
Next, stay with us.
Manager interviews are presented by Sage, the official finance software partner of Major League Baseball.
Our first stop of the week is at Orioles camp in Sarasota, Florida. A young core that's growing together, and there is more on the way. My goodness, Samuel Basayo leads this list of their top prospects. We've already seen his talent at the big league level, and it certainly plays. And there was once a time Gunnar Henderson was widely regarded as the #1 prospect in the game. That was back in 2023, and now he's ready to wear USA across his chest and an Orioles jersey with high hopes for 2026. I just said, Gunnar, are you ready to play for your country? And he said, after that hockey gold made you feel a certain kind of way, yeah?
Seeing the boys get fired up about that hockey game, and I know it's coming up in a week or two, so yeah, it's got me fired up, and I'm ready to go for the red, white, and blue.
How do you hurry up your preparation? Because you have to be big game ready fast.
Yeah, I think it's just being a little bit more intentional early, which, I mean, I'm intentional in all my work, but just I got down here the 2nd of February, so I've been down here for a little while trying to get my body ready to play back-to-back games, because we're not having to do that until pretty much the end of the spring. So that's been my biggest thing. It's just getting used to a little back-to-back.
Talking to your teammates and what I just analyzed with you last year, You got a lot of cool points, like as far as being the ultimate gamer, like finding out towards the end of the year, you played 3/4 of the season with the shoulder impingement, still able to put together a pretty solid year, even though a lot of people were saying it's a slight bit down year, I get it. But like, how do you reflect on last season? Are you proud of yourself for making it through it with the shoulder impingement, or do you more think of what you left on the table?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. Yeah, I mean, you can obviously look for excuses in the year, but that's just obviously it was the reality of the situation, and I felt like I went out there and worked my butt off every day to do the best I could in my given circumstances. So I was proud of the way I went out there and just locked in focus-wise each and every day. And yeah, it sucks that we didn't make playoffs, but to be able to string together a decent year I was pretty proud.
And seeing you use that experience to continue to add to every single part of your game. As I go through your years, 1 bag in the first year, 10, 21, 30. Should we start looking for a 40 stolen base Gunnar Henderson in the future?
Man, that's the goal. Just get out there and run. That's all I can do, right?
He wants to talk about speed. I want to talk about defense because you light up when you talk about it. I remember 2 years ago, Gunnar, you said, I'm always trying to move my feet and just play the hop. It's simple. How are you making routine plays routine early in camp? Because I know that's your focus.
Yeah, so early last year I kind of got caught being a little too aggressive and then maybe a little too passive. So I felt like towards the middle of the year I really got honed in on kind of stalking the ball. That was my thought process behind it, was kind of hunting the ball and kind of it's my prey. So that was kind of my thought process to really slow myself down to get that good hop. And felt like ever since then it's been the routine plays. I've made them look routine. So that's been the biggest thing for me, and I really love defense and really just locking in on it, and it's been really fun.
It's going to be a fun year, and it starts with you wearing USA across your chest. Good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
And here with 2-time All-Star, slated to be right there in the heart of this Orioles lineup going into the season, Adley Rutschman. First of all, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
How's the spring treating you so far? How was the off season? Take us back to Oregon. What's happening? All the indoor training in Oregon happened. Tell us how the off season treated you.
Oh, it was great. Have a great spot out there. A lot of good guys, able to get in some good work and just kind of decompress, get ready for the season.
You have a great group. I love all the off-season additions that you guys made. How have you seen the expectations of the team and the organization change over the past few years?
Yeah, I think there's definitely a difference in those first couple seasons where the expectations are low, but our expectations are high, and you kind of have this feeling of being free and easy, and that is the tough part, is just keeping those expectations with the team and not letting the external noise kind of get to you. And
right.
We got a lot of good guys on this team who have experience with that, and I think we're built for it. So
I love watching you work with the pitchers and seeing the connection that you're able to create with a staff. And as I think of the additions, Helsley, Kittredge in the bullpen, and then you have Bassett and Baz, it's the starting rotation. Is the process the same when you're trying to get to know new arms, if they're starters or bullpen guys, or are there differences along the way?
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, like, we have kind of our internal analytics on guys and what we feel like is their strengths, weaknesses, stuff they want to work on, and that all happens during spring training. But fortunately, been able to face some of them and get their scouting reports on the other side, and then being able to bring them over here, you kind of have a good idea already of, you're like, I know that worked on me. So just being able to take that into spring training, into the season, and a lot of conversations to be had.
As you have had a lot of success in the big leagues, going into the offseason, assessing last year, what is the biggest adjustment that you're looking to make this year?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I want to stay healthy. I want to be on the field.
Right.
And
it seems like that plays for a lot of your guys.
100%. And there's nothing worse than having to watch your team from the sidelines and just wanting to be out there to help and be a part of it and be in the mix. So I think especially from the catching position, it's like going from not being in every play to being in every play is just such a huge change. And I love catching and love being a part of the team, and so I think that's the biggest thing for me, is just I want to be a part of it all year and make a run.
Well, I love it, man. Good luck to you guys. Nothing but success for you. I know a lot of things are going to go great for you this year and the rest of the squad. Looking forward to seeing you go out there and do your thing.
Thanks, Chris.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Gunnar, Taylor Ward, Adley, and Pete, 1 through 4, yes please. So who hits the most home runs? Our social media question gained a lot of traction and the responses were clear. 74% for the 5-time All-Star Gunnar, or Gunna, as Albie calls him, coming in at second with 17, and Ward bringing the power from the West Coast, Best Coast. So while we are talking numbers, CY, 75 wins a year ago, we're going north. We're
going north. We're going north, but a lot of things still have to go right for this team. I think one thing this team is going to do, I think they're going to slug. I think the additions that you brought, they're going to slug. They have the great back end of bullpen, bringing in Helsley and Kittredge. They have a lot of depth in the starting rotation. Not a lot of true aces that you see, but guys with extremely high ceilings. If guys are able to bounce back, Bradish able to have a good year, Trevor Rogers able to have a good year, and all the depth pieces, Eflin, and down, working down from there. If those guys can come through and carry a lot of innings and get the ball to the bullpen, I think these guys are going to hit enough to slug with anybody in the East. Granted, a lot of guys have to have turnaround seasons, but I'm seeing all the money that they're pouring into the organization right now.
The facilities.
The facilities are amazing. They're building a lot, have a full tech lab that guys are able to go out there and make adjustments to where they're pouring into these players to help these guys bounce back and turn around. So I'm seeing bright things ahead for the Baltimore Orioles.
35 cameras in one room dissecting a swing. I said, how many cameras do you need? And they looked at me like, we need 35 of them. The Orioles all the way up. We'll see in the AL East. Thanks so much for joining us from Sarasota, from Orioles camp. We'll see you next time.